through now to the 5th round of the FA Cup. It ended up 2-1, so City coming back from 1-0 down at half-time to win 2-1. That man, Kevin De Bruyne, only needs 10 minutes and he creates some magic. You can see the City players on the pitch there clapping the incredible away fans. A long journey that to get there at that time of the day, and of course our manager Pep Guardiola says thank you to the fans. I'm still joined by Nicky Weaver and by Paul Dickov. Nicky, what did you make then of the second half? Are you breathing now?
Well, I think we're just glad to get over the line in the hat for the next round, and all credit to Leyton Orient there. They put up a valiant effort right to the death. We were sort of hanging on there at the end, and ultimately we came out. The quality showed in the end, but yeah, certainly a well-fought win.
Paul, I'm sure you'll be messaging or calling your friend Richie Wellens after this and congratulating him on what was a great performance by them.
Yeah, never in doubt, was it? But yeah, now Richie will be so proud of his players. Right to the very end, they were still causing us problems. Putting balls in the box, great shape about them, gave a great account of themselves. They'll be bitterly disappointed he's lost the game, but I know leading up to the game, during the week leading up to it, he was a little bit worried. He didn't want I couldn't say it beforehand, he didn't want a Salford when it was 8-0 with the position they're in the playoffs, so we'll take a massive amounts for the game, massive amounts of confidence. You'll get another game during the week, and well done to them. But just second half was a bit more like it, wasn't it?
So we're going to go over now to Pitchside to hear from FG and Michael Brown.
Yes, full time from Leyton Orient, Manchester City, 2-1 winners, 2 second-half goals, starting with a goal from Rico Lewis, deflected slightly.
Yeah, it's deflected, but Khusanov won't be bothered, off his shoulder, and you'd certainly take it. But, look at these fans now, the players, obviously delighted to get a result. It was a tough cup tie, wasn't it? And that's what's expected when you come to grounds. Full credit to Leyton Orient. They've been really, really fantastic in this time.
And of course our manager, Mr. Pep Guardiola, coming over to greet our supporters. Look, there were moments before at the start of the game where it was difficult for him, but he kept his cool and he's never worried, is he?
That's amazing, isn't it? Pep coming over, look at these fans now, a new ground that you talked about that they haven't been for a long time. But it was a good second half, and I know we're through to the next round.
Yeah, let's just pan the camera this way, shall we, to our players, because this is how much it means to them, the support that this group of fans always have. They never worry. The new man, Omar Mamouche, about to put his shirt into the crowd as well. More minutes for him.
Yeah, more minutes. He just wasn't big, was it? He got several opportunities. He might have had a penalty that didn't go his way, but for the younger players as well, Khusanov coming to get minutes, John Stones getting some, Kevin De Bruyne. It's a big week of football, isn't it? And the cup ties are tough. This is what you put through. There's a sensational goal which made it even tougher for us, but it's job done, FG.
It's job done indeed. We're into the next round of the FA Cup, but it was difficult at periods. I guess the next question, Brownie, is who do you want in the next round?
Oh, come on. Just enjoy this moment. Supporters have enjoyed their afternoon of football, but you'll take anybody, won't we? Do we want one at home? Do you want one away?
When you look at the away support that we have every single week, I wouldn't mind another trip and another go in the away section. But regardless, we're in the next round. That's what matters. On to Real Madrid on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's a massive game, isn't it? Let's be honest. You look to try and save as many players for as long as you possibly can. Kevin De Bruyne had that class coming on with that little bit of a touch. But now, what a game of football. Real Madrid, we can't wait for it. It's a massive week of football for the football club, but that is a huge test. It's a different one to today, isn't it? Yeah. Where you put up against it, you spun, you're in the corner, it's physical, it's high tempo, but this is what it's about, cup ties.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to end the show with two men who've been singing about Michael Brown all throughout that post-match. It's been an absolute pleasure joining you as always. Thank you, Michael, for your amazing work on Co-Coms, and of course a win for Manchester City, which is the most important thing.
And that is a vintage scarf that man was wearing. He's done well not to lose that for the last 30 years. Love that. Thank you so much to FG and to Michael Brown. And the shots there of Pep coming over to speak to some of the fans, to have his picture taken with some of the fans. I mean, he knows the difficulty for fans to travel and get there at that time of day. 12:15 kickoff, travelling from Manchester all around the country as well. Massive shout out to the fans there as well. Loved those shots of Pep Guardiola. So, I mean, it was never in doubt, Jed. I was not nervous at one single point. I didn't have my head in my hands for the whole of the second half. I didn't nearly cry when we scored a goal there. It was always going to be fine, wasn't it, Paul?
I think it was. We said at half-time, the longer the game went on, as great as Leyton Orient were, you know, they were all tired mentally and physically. And when you can bring on Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, who both made a massive difference when they came on, finding little pockets and creating things, and you could sense the goals were going to come.
You almost felt, I mean, I was so happy when I saw that they were coming on, but you really did feel for Leyton Orient. You can imagine their players, they've put up this mammoth fight, and they look over to the side of the pitch and you see one of the greatest Premier League players of all time warming up. Yeah,
you're putting Foden and De Bruyne on, it certainly doesn't get any easier for the tiring Leyton Orient players. But yeah, and you just always felt that one of them would have a big influence on the game, and they did. But yeah, fantastic for Leyton Orient. But City got the job done. Great to see the players and the manager there going over, showing their appreciation to the fans. And yeah, I think everyone's come out a winner really today, because even Leyton Orient, though they've lost, they've got a lot of positives. If they can take that form into the league, that'll stand them in good stead for the rest of the season. But yeah, as far as we're concerned, it's job done.
So in terms of that second half, it started off at half-time with two substitutions. So Khusanov and Stones coming on, Dias and Heish going off. Paul, do you think that was, especially in terms of Dias, always the intention?
I would have thought so. I think that's probably been planned before the game with the sports science, the conditioning guys and Pep, especially with Ruben being out and coming back and having such an important game during the week, and then getting more minutes into John Stones as well, and Khusanov coming on. So, but we started the second half really well. Looked as if the ball wasn't going, and I don't care if you're Man City or you're Leyton Orient, sometimes you need that little bit of luck. And Rico's took his shot, it's deflected off Khusanov, who gets his first goal, didn't know a lot about it, and then from then on, there was only going to be the one winner.
Yeah, when Khusanov came on at half-time, I don't think any of us expected that he would be the one that would open the scoring, but it did come. So it was Lewis who struck the ball from 25 yards out, Nick. At first, it looked like it had taken a deflection, but we weren't sure who it had taken a deflection off. And then when you see the replay, do you know what? Maybe he knows nothing about it. Maybe it was a very clever little dink off his head that directed it into the back of the net.
Yeah, I don't think he knew much about it, but we spoke at half-time about shooting more.
Yeah.
They turned numerous opportunities down to shoot first half. Rico gets it out of his feet, hits a good shot. Obviously, it's going slightly wide. Khusanov sort of, don't know if he tried to get out of the way or what, but it's hit him and gone in. And then once that went in, you did fancy City to go on. But yeah, certainly first half they turned a few opportunities down to shoot. Second half they didn't, and obviously got back in the game through it.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd say Lewis taking a shot from that far out and it keep flicking off Khusanov into the back of the net. Considering the difficulty he had in his opening game, whether he knew about that or not, that is his opening goal.
Absolutely, and fair play to him. I thought it was a great finish.
You'd be proud of that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
So at that point, of course, City 1-1, and then we start to feel a little bit more confidence, feel a bit better. But again, credit to Leyton Orient because they continued to play. The keeper, I thought as well, Nick, I've written down in my notes, I thought he had a great game.
He did. You can be proud of that. A game that, as a young player on loan from Tottenham, he'll remember that for a long, long time. And yeah, for the second goal, he got caught a little bit in no man's land, whether to come or whether to come. But yeah, I think he can be proud of his performance. Made 3 or 4 really big saves at big times today.
So he was making good saves. Kev and Phil came on as well. And then other interesting things to note from the second half before the City's second goal. Possible red card. So Cooper for Leyton Orient went down. He seemed to go down the back of the legs. His studs were up. Perhaps if VAR was in, they would have taken another look at that, Paul.
I'm pretty sure they would have done. I don't think he's meant it. But it didn't look great, and I think, as you said, if there was VAR there, I think he's possibly looking at a red card.
He's just tried to nick him, hasn't he? But he's ended up studding him on the sort of Achilles tendon.
Well, thankfully, it was okay, because it could have been quite nasty.
And I also written down, talking about VAR, 63rd minute, Marmoush was taken out in the box. Now, if VAR had looked at this, we are all 100% certain that would have been given as a penalty.
My first reaction was a penalty, but we were flabbergasted they didn't give it. If it had gone to VAR, they certainly would have given it. It was a stonewall penalty, and at that point you think, is it going to be our day and is everything going to go in Leyton Orient's favour? But ultimately it's a good job it didn't cost us.
And it didn't cost us because the equaliser did eventually come. And of course, it was that man, Kevin De Bruyne, of course, linking up. Lovely ball by Jack Grealish, but it's all about the cool, calm, collected finish by Kevin.
And the run as well. You know, he's made the run from deep. He's left, I think it was Pratley actually who didn't track his runner with him. The centre-half didn't know where to stay with Omar Marmoush or fell in the space at Kevin, so it's such a clever run. The ball from Jack's fantastic, perfectly weighted, and the finish way outside his foot. I know Nicky's saying, but could the goalkeeper come or not? But it's maybe just on the wrong side of him a little bit. And I think once Kevin takes that extra stride, it's a lovely little finish, just thinking it around the keeper. So and we all know from Kevin De Bruyne is top class, and he showed that yet again.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness he came on then, because Leyton Orient kept playing and I was continuing to be nervous.
Yeah, I mean, when that went in, I mean, me and Paul were talking during the game and we're saying, you know, we need a third. They're chucking the goalkeeper up. It was obviously got a bit of history in this competition. And they had chances right up to the end. I think it was Happy on the back stick there. He won't be too happy with that, but sorry about that. And but yeah, they did have chances right to the end, and we were sort of hanging on, and you know, we were glad to hear the final whistle.
I was very slow with that one. Sorry, I think it's the nerves.
Yeah.
Still,
It wasn't great.
Yeah. Yeah, because it really 89th minute opportunity for him. I mean, it should have been an equaliser.
It was a great ball in. It was a great ball in, and once he's there, he's got to.
It reminds me of the goal
PSG.
conceded against PSG. Free kick round the back, unmarked, and you know, he should have done better.
Yeah, he'll be having nightmares about that for a long, long time. Bless him.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll forget about it now, because all I'm thinking about is the next round. So the other games taking place in the fourth round, of course, over this weekend. Manchester United went through last night. There's more games today, and then Sunday, Monday, and one on Tuesday as well. So move into the fifth round, which I believe, off the top of my head, is the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of March. Of course, the FA Cup being played on weekends throughout the year as well. So we'll look forward to the draw on that and seeing who we might face in the next round. But ultimately, we've been well and truly tested today, but all that matters is the result, and we've come out of it with a win. And what are the positives are you taking from the game today, Paul?
Coming from behind again, showing characters, getting more minutes. John Stone's got 45, Ruben's got 45. Obviously the debut for the two boys. Hopefully Nico's going to be okay. The youngsters, McAtee and Nico O'Reilly, getting more minutes under their belt. So yeah, lots of positives to take for it, and lots of positives for Leyton Orient as well, actually.
And we could see what it meant to the players and to Pep Guardiola at the end of the match. If you missed that, let's take another look at this lovely shot of, the players and Pep were applauding the fans non-stop. And then, of course, Pep goes over, kissing the fans. And then my favourite is the reaction after, when the man goes, he looks to his mate and goes, yes! And then he gets some pictures in there as well. So I'm absolutely loving that. Shout out to Pep and to the fans. Look how happy they are. They're like, yeah, you just met him. Love that. So the draw, by the way, is on Monday night. So it'll be Monday night. We will be ball number 14 in that draw. Anyone's lucky number? No?
It was my number second time round.
It was your number second time round?
14, that's it, yeah.
Paul Dickov's lucky number, so hopefully
I don't know, I didn't score, so maybe unlucky number.
Maybe, oh no, we're going to throw United away, aren't we?
I'll
So
take
that is Monday night for that draw there. But of course, that is a couple of weeks now until the FA Cup fifth round. Our next game, we turn our attention to the Champions League, because it is the Champions League knockout playoff on Tuesday night. And of course, because it is the Champions League, Manchester City will take on Real Madrid, as we seem to do every single year. So Real Madrid currently top of La Liga, but only a point clear of Atletico Madrid, who they play at 8 p.m. tonight. So that will be a very interesting game. We'll keep an eye on that, certainly on the lineup, given the amount of injuries that Real Madrid have this season. They are top of La Liga, only by a point though. It's fair to say they're not vintage Real Madrid this season. There's a reason they're in the playoffs, as there is with us as well. And I feel like I don't even need to ask you. I imagine, regardless of anything, you are still feeling positive for Tuesday.
I am, even when the draw was made. I would rather have had Real Madrid than Bayern Munich, I think. There's fourth year in a row. I think all games have been super tight. I thought we were so unlucky against them last year. Disappointingly going out in penalties, and obviously going forward with Mbappe, Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo, Bellingham. But they're really struggling defensively at the minute. You know, Carvajal's out, Militao's out, Rudiger's out, I think, as well, Jordi Alba. So that's probably their starting back four. It's a couple of young centre-halves that they're going to have to be playing as well. So, look, it's Real Madrid. It's going to be a tough game, but I've just got a funny feeling that we're going to be better than them this time.
I was reading an article this week about who they're predicting Real Madrid might play in their back four or in defence in general on Tuesday night, Nick. And there weren't any names that jumped out at me. And given it's Real Madrid, you expect to know all the players.
Yeah, obviously, Paul's mentioned there that they've got the problems. They've got great going forward, but they've got a soft underbelly. I suppose you could say a little bit like us this season. So yeah, listen, the recent history between the two clubs, there's been some classic games. Let's hope we're talking about a great football match and not controversial decisions and things like that. So yeah, one we're all looking forward to. Going to be a real tough game. It's almost come too early in the competition, hasn't it, for two sort of giants to be going at it. But that's where we're at, and that's the new format of the competition. So yeah, hopefully over two legs we can come out on top.
There certainly has been a lot of bite. The word that I always like you using, Paul, is bite. The bite in this game over the years has just grown and grown and grown. Partly because of the gravitas of the game. It's been semi-finals. It's been whoever wins goes on to win. But also, obviously, there's the added Ballon d'Or that happened this year as well. We all know what happened there. Shout out to Rodri, the best player in the world, officially. And the bite that has added to the game as well. I'm expecting the atmosphere to be excited and tense, and I am expecting there to be bite in the game.
Without a shadow of a doubt, there will be. And look, our record at the Etihad is absolutely fantastic. The last few seasons, especially, the atmosphere at the Etihad in European nights has been unbelievable. So I expect it again. Really excited for it. And yeah, I think it's, what was it Paul Sturrock said to you, a wee bit spicy.
Yeah, a bit
I think the atmosphere is going to be a wee bit spicy between both teams.
But you need a good result,
yeah,
positive result to go into that.
Talking about that, Nick, I've been thinking about that a lot. What is a positive result for City to take to the Bernabeu?
You want to be winning, don't you? You don't want to be going there, back of a 0-0 draw or something. So it's at home, it's in our backyard. Can we go and win it? Can we get a 2-goal advantage? That'd be a really positive result. But listen, regardless of the scoreline on Tuesday night, anything could happen the following week. But let's hope we get off to a good start on Tuesday.
Yeah, I had two-goal advantage in my head, but you're right, anything can happen.
I think even if we didn't, if we go there with a draw, we're still capable of going there and scoring goals. I think for both teams,
both teams are very capable, aren't they?
How they perform defensively over both legs, I think is going to be the defining factor about who comes through the tie.
And it's going to be interesting, both teams' lineups. Obviously, we don't know the situation with Nico yet. We know that Vitor Haitian not in the Champions League squad, but of course Khusanov is. Hopefully, we might have some. I'm really hoping that Nathan Ake might be back. I don't know what the updates are there. Given the attacking forces that they have, particularly on the wings, I think I'd feel a lot more comfortable if there was a seasoned fullback there.
Yeah, and Ruben back, Akanji got his rest today. Obviously, saying Nathan Ake, Guardiola to come back in as well. So all of a sudden, if you look at our squad defensively from 2 weeks ago to now and get into the game, it's so much more stronger than what it's been. Probably the strongest it's been since the start of the season.
So Pep's just done his post-match interview after the FA Cup game. He was asked about Nico's injury, and all he had to say was, "Welcome to England." Absolutely, that is one heck of a welcome to England for Nico. He went off after 20 minutes today, but we keep everything crossed that he will be fit to take part in some way on Tuesday night. So, and also, are you both watching the game Tuesday? You'll be there?
Watching it, yeah.
You need to watch early. If you're in the ground, get in nice and early. If you're watching from home, get it on TV nice and early. Get it on Matchday Live. They'll tell you everything that is going on because there is the most incredible light show planned, and also a banner display before the game that will take your breath away. I cannot wait for you all to see that as well because, there's going to be some bite in the game. So I'm looking forward to it now.
I can't wait.
Can't wait, Nick?
Absolutely, yeah. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Love that. Bring it on. Thank you very much. Just give you some other updates, of course, before Tuesday. The games come thick and fast at the minute. The women play tomorrow in the FA Cup. They're taking on Leicester City. It's the 5th round of the Women's FA Cup. It is here. It is here at the Joy Stadium. If you cannot make it down, then you can get commentary on the Manchester City app with Nick Walsh. Kickoff is 2 p.m. Best of luck to the women there. Obviously, that would top off a brilliant week for them. Although if they get through and Chelsea get through, I bet they'd end up drawing each other, because then it'd be like 5 games in a row. But best of luck to the women tomorrow. So also there was a couple of milestones today as well. If you missed them, Ruben Dias made his 200th appearance for City and Phil Foden made his 300th appearance for City today. Some phenomenal milestones. I cannot believe it feels like Ruben Dias only joined like 5 minutes ago, and he's got 4 Premier League winners' medals. So congratulations to both of them. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nicky Weaver. Thank you very much, Paul Dickov. Thank you all for watching us on Matchday Live. We did it. We did it. It was tense. It was hard, but we are in the hat, and that is all that matters. We look ahead to Tuesday night now, but let's just take a minute to enjoy some of the best moments from Ruben Dias's 200 games in a City shirt.
I think the most important thing to say is that I love to win. And that's the thing you most need to know about me.
I'm very comfortable with myself.
You need to do whatever you believe in. Working, progressing, being better. That's the way I get home every day and I'm like, all right, today I was better than yesterday.
He's a bit intense in the way that he works, sometimes a bit too much for me, but that shows his passion for the game.
I think his impact with all of us was great.
He's a guy who lives 24 hours for his profession, for his job, 24 hours.
How he loves being defender.
I love it. I love it. For you to be a defender, especially at this level, you need to be versatile, to be good. Because you just need to be ready to play against different players with different characteristics.
Oh, what a block that is from Ruben Dias.
Incredible reading of the play from the Portuguese.
He's a very complete player. He's got the strength and the power to help us a lot when we don't have the ball, but also the way he controls and the tempo, the way he added goals to his game, and it's a little bit of everything.
Who will it come back to? Oh, they do find a way through. Ruben Dias, an unlikely scorer, but a scorer in some style.
It's the dream of a child of winning a Champions League, of winning a Premier League.
I think I've never been the guy to cry in any occasion. That moment, it was just something I had never felt in my life. I wish everyone was to feel like that at least once in their lifetime. I want to give importance to those stats, but not too much importance because it makes you relax, and I don't want to relax at all.
We want to do it again, and that's when we get big.
What a block from Dias.
There's not just a player who play good, he's a player who make the other guys play good too.
Ruben Dias leading the team talk in that huddle.
Whether he plays, whether he doesn't play, he's given the same level of professionalism the whole time, always positive.
He only joined in 2020. He's known nothing but glory since.
I enjoy the club, I enjoy the city, I enjoy my home. I feel at home.